check this video
You
out
ready to
and
pull it up?
discuss it. Yeah.
All
let's
right.
go ahead.
Well, let's pull that down, pull that up. Let's see what's going
I
on.
wonder, is this why some people are wrestling, even reconciling with God?
Because he doesn't apologize. What you disagreed with is not indicative of him making a mistake.
Come on.
I thought me and God were at odds, but it was probably just me angry with him because I disagreed with him allowing Jesus's brain in his skull and not Zoe's.
Yeah.
And I said, somewhere you and I are not friends. And I'll never forget the day the Lord confronted me and said, Brandon Clack, I'm never wrong. If you're frustrated with me, go back to the text because I'm not apologizing for this. If I serve a God who will disagree with what I feel is best, I better learn about him because clearly I can't control him with my dance. They told me if I danced and if I ran, he would do certain things. But I just ran up against a divine roadblock where he didn't budge no matter how bad I blessed him.
We train ourselves only to live with him when things are good. But how do you live with God when he doesn't do what you want him to do?
This is why we got to teach an unmovable faith, a faith in God, not a faith for things. So if he don't heal me, I still have faith in God.
Absolutely.
If I don't get the car, I still have faith in God. If I still end up in divorce court, I still have faith in God because my faith is in him to know all things still work together for the good of those who love the Lord and for those who are the called according to his promise and purpose.
At the end of the day, I can lose the stuff. I just don't want to lose him.
I've learned to live in the silence, but live in a louder trust. He's not saying much, but historically, if his word is true, I'll believe what I read about.
I wonder.
You know, I think we both sitting over here. Let me just applaud these brothers because they gave a lot of truth. They gave a lot of substance, and I'm wondering if that's a little much for a Monday night.
That's first of all, that's a whole show. That's this topic is a whole show, but we gonna break this down as best as we can, just like these brothers were. Man, you want to go first or?
I'm kind of, I'm busy. I'm looking for a video.
Okay, so
I'm busy. I'm looking for a video.
It's the topic is why don't people reconcile with God? And I understand where those brothers, and I'm gonna comment on the things that they said as well. But part of the reason I feel like people don't reconcile with God is because they don't want to change. That's one of the things that wasn't said. People are set in their ways. And because God's ways are not our ways. And I mean, it's a good thing that God gave us our own choice, our own free will, but it's also not a good thing either. And I understand why God gave us free will, because he wanted us to be able to choose him like he chose us. And but some people just don't want to change, or they don't want to change yet. They don't want to change yet. And because they know God has grace, he's given us grace and mercy, they take advantage of that. And I've been there. Sometimes even in my life now, I'm more conscious of taking advantage of God's grace. And yeah, Jason, that's the only topic.
It's the only topic at this point.
Yeah, right? Man. Yeah.
But and Joseph is saying just place everything in his hands and let go.
Yeah.
So Bishop, I'm gonna have to disagree with you a bit, and maybe it's because of the way I look at it. Maybe he's looking at it the way that I do too, right? Like there is a time where you've done all you can, and as the songwriter said, you just stand.
Yep.
Right. So you did everything that you could, and there's a time where your ability to change the situation ends. and you're just left with whatever's left. That's what you got. You know what I mean? And actually, I'm gonna supplement with this video right here, and y'all let me know if this is applicable or not.
Why? Why? Oh, that's why.
Like, is
That's
that
good.
that not?
Good. That's good. That's very applicable.
Is that not like exact like?
Yes, absolutely. We don't get it because we be so stuck into what we see now, and that's not faith. Faith is all about what you don't see,
And it's not the 30,000 foot view that God has for your life.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the GPS, all the way up in space. God is looking down on your situation in particular and telling you and maneuvering you through life to get to your next destination. And instead of trusting God to get you to your next destination, because if you notice, even the GPSs don't operate on the same time we operate on.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would want to believe that God is on an even higher level of time and time management,
brother. Whether you believe it or not, he is.
and I know he is. And I'm just trying to paint the picture. I'm trying to illustrate.
Paint,
listen,
brother.
So I say that just to say, who are we to sit over here and be so frustrated with God after you've gotten as far as you can? And just because you're sitting in traffic doesn't mean that God ain't watching. Just because he didn't part the traffic like the Red Sea and allow you a path to go through doesn't mean that God's not watching over you. Because guess what? He's not just responsible for you, but he's responsible for everybody else that's on the road trying to get to their destinations as well. And so guess what? Y'all the ones that got up late. This is y'all the ones that got these jobs that all start at 8:00, which makes it difficult. You know what I'm saying? That starts between 8 and 9 o'clock. That makes it difficult to get to the next destination in a certain amount of time, right? That's the reason why. It ain't because God set it up wrong. It's because we set it up differently. We made our own plan, and when we made our plan, guess what? You actually mess with God's divine plan. Because truth be told, if you want to take it all the way back to Adam and Eve, had it been up to God and Adam and Eve didn't do what they did, guess what? We'd be sitting in the garden, tending to our little fruits
business,
and Adam would have named all the animals already, and we would have been checking on them and making sure that they good while we sitting back and eating grapes.
Just flourishing, not even knowing what evil is.
If it